Hey, again, a warm welcome to everyone. And today I've come up with the second part of the same video that I left yesterday on the qualities required to be a good PMO or project management office. What's different today is I would be explaining with more examples so that all of you who have not been into the field yet, even they can relate to what I'm trying to say. Going straight into the video, um, yesterday's video, if you haven't seen, I will put in the link in this video. You can go and check that one first and then probably come to this and it would make more sense. uh, I explained about understanding the business, I explained about understanding the stakeholders, and explained about the mechanisms to track your work. Today I would deep diving into the topics and quoting examples. That's special in today's video. Get into the further pages. Well, understanding a business. Now, why am I saying that it is important? I explained with a kind of example yesterday. I wanted to elaborate it in this video. So the example that I would be taking is banking industry. Simple reason, it's most widely used industry where PMO role is very predominant. And second is, even I belong to this industry, so it becomes easier for me to explain around this. So what are the considerations that one can really think about when see understanding the business? You should see that which geography probably his organization works in. Why is it necessary? Simple reason is, you don't work in silos, right? So you are in an ecosystem, and government plays a very important part in deciding upon deciding upon the regulatory parameters in which your organization works. So eventually this becomes very important that you understand in which geography you are serving your stakeholders. Then you have to understand at what level of maturity is your business into. Why am I saying that is, it plays an important role? uh, for instance, you are into an organization that itself has just started, it's evolving every day. So here is where an opportunity comes that you suggest your stakeholders about various templates that you want to use in managing their PMO, various processes that you want to use while managing their PMO. For example, you can suggest that in the starting, you can only focus upon managing finances with PMO, a very slight bit of governance, which are must haves, and you can suggest about the reporting. You need not go into all the nitty gritties of PMO, like risk and governance and all those things, because that might gradually evolve as that organization itself becomes giant. But if it's already established organization, what is important is you yourself get into those processes that they actually follow, because now they are matured organizations, they have their own sets of processes defined. So in this case, you have to be very flexible to get and understand their processes. In turn, you can always suggest improvement areas to their processes, their reporting mechanisms, their style of delivery from your previous experience. But uh, in general, you have to understand their world. You cannot be a lot, you cannot experiment a lot, or you cannot suggest a lot to a matured company or matured organization. Okay. Then the third thing that also comes into picture, as I have quoted the example of banking. So for example, what are the offerings, what are the kind of business you are serving as your line of business? For example, like the retail banking, the cards, payments, investment banking, mortgages, properties, personal loans, or community banking, ATMs, whatever, branches. So what is that you in specific are serving, and how this department of yours correlates to the bank? Because even though it's a large bank, for example, a Lloyd's Banking Group, which is the largest bank in the UK, so community banking is one of the portfolios in Lloyd's Banking Group. So they are an organization in themselves. They have different mechanism of working. They need not um, incorporate everything from the parent organization. They might, but with tweaks. So it is very important to see which line of business you are supporting, right? Okay, so going ahead, um, this is very important, understanding the stakeholder requirements. I spoke about it yesterday, but I wanted to make it more clear by giving a concrete example. Again, this example happens to be from the banking industry. As you can see in the diagram, that I have divided um, the stakeholders in two parts. One, if you see at the top, it says the business side, right? So they are the business, like for example, commercial banking. So commercial banking is the business. They have their own set of requirements. For if I have to quote an example of an Indian bank, say ICICI Bank, they would have thought of going on the internet, or provide or coming up with the mobile banking services or internet banking. So at the some idea would have come into existence at that point of time. They passed this idea to the IT department. I'm just keeping the terminology simple at this point of time, not quoting using big jargon, so that everyone who is listening to the video can relate to it very easily. The ideas would have struck. They passed on the ideas, the requirements to the business. The ideas would have been a n number, right? So now there is a decision making that happens in the top level of management in IT. They decide that what is that you want to take, and what is that you can park it for time being, and you can take it on with a second level or third level of priority, and gradually come up with the solutions. So there is a decision making level, and then there is the project and program teams, which ultimately formulates the outcome, right? So that is this level have marked as the IT or the project side of it. Okay, again, so now coming up to the main topic of the slide, which is understanding your stakeholders. So it is very important, like when you talk about your business side, what is the business, what does the business want to see? They want to see what is the achievement that the project teams have done. Is the output similar to what ideas we have passed? Is the business requirement converted into the deployment which the project team has done? So they are only concerned. And are they bug free? I mean, are they bug free? Are the user acceptance test done properly? Is this a product that they really want to showcase to their customers? So that is very important, right? Now, if I talk about the decision making body, they are more, they are the they have a budget to deliver whatever they are delivering as a piece of work for that particular project. I'm just considering a project to keep it very simple. They have a budget, and they have to justify the budget. So if you're a PMO, you have to think, what might my the higher management in my department want to see? They are more inclined to see the progress of the project. Yes, one. They might be inclined to see the financials. Okay, how are we burning the finances, what has been allocated to us? So are we progressing in the right way as we decided at the starting of the project? Then if I talk about the project team, they might be more inclined to understand what are the various features that we decided to give as a part of this project. Are we each one of them, if they are working on a particular feature, they would be more keen to see in a report that if what is the progress in that particular feature. So depending on each level, your your deliverables to that stakeholder changes. Hence, it is very important to understand the various stakeholders at various level of the organization. So I'll go to the next part, which says fantastic tracking mechanism. Now, why it is very important? It's important because, see, a very simple reason I quote to everyone is, I mean, don't trust your brains, just trust your systems. When your brain has a capacity, right? Instead of trusting your brain always, and rather trust the system. I mean, you have so many mechanisms to have a good tracking established. One of them you can see is this example, wherein the project manager has used uh, issue tracking using Excel. So wherein he is trying to understand what are the descriptions of the issue. I mean, in what circumstances an issue would happen in his project, and what would be the impact of this issue, right? He's also giving a priority to the issue. I mean, impact. I mean, if the issue actually happens, what would be the impact? He's targeting it as a low, medium, high. Okay, so that he can take actions accordingly. If it is like high impact, then definitely the team would focus more on such kind of issues or risk for that matter, right? He's also having a field which says the status. Now, if it's open, if it is closed, or if it has been mitigated, so it's very good idea to always have the statuses, so that uh, you can just filter on the open statuses and only focus, and that is the area of concern that you have. Also, if you want to send such snapshots as a part of your email, it becomes very easy. If you have status, just filter on it and make it a snapshot and put it in your email. Send it to the stakeholders who would be enacting upon those emails. The other good thing that I see in this tracking mechanism is he has put in the date when the issue was started. Has it resolved? And if it has resolved, when it was resolved. And finally, the the best thing that I see here is the notes. It's a running commentary. I mean, every time it changes, it's a good thing to practice is to put a date when it got changed, because it becomes sometimes very tough to dig down to your emails and see when a particular event happened. So if all of a sudden someone wants some details, higher management wants a details from you, go to the tracker, just give it, instead of digging down to your or reading through your emails. This is far more easier mechanism, right? Okay, now I'll just go one step ahead and come into this, which say, okay, now at this point of time, I'm not calling it a Kanban. I'm just calling it a modest way of tracking your backlogs, your in progress activities, and the ones that is ready to be deployed or which has been already been completed. I'm not calling it a Kanban chart at this point of time. But this type of tracking becomes very useful when, especially, you are not a single person contributor. You are working as a team wherein you have a set of user stories. I'm just quoting an example of user stories. You have a set of user stories which your team is trying to deliver. You can have a track. It's a very simple mechanism wherein what is the backlog, what is that you are already working upon, and what is the progress again. To If you want to put it into granular format, you can also track what is the progress. And finally, you also know that what are the features which already have been deployed. Okay, so again, this is a very good tracking mechanism. I hope this part of tracking mechanism, understanding your stakeholders and understanding the business in which you are in, it was helpful. If you still want me to deep dive into um, any specific topic, I would be glad to do so. I request you to put the same in the commentary. Today I got a lot of comments, and that is the reason why I came up with the second video on the same lines what I did yesterday. So your comments really help me. Do subscribe to the channel so that you can keep on getting the updates that I intend to produce every day. So thank you and have a very good time.